Your name is Mr. Downer.
Mr. Downer, yes.
And may I ask what you were doing in Abadan?
Well, I was running all the mechanical equipment operating in the whole of Abadan areas and South Kurdistan.
How long have you been out there, sir?
Well, I've been out in my last period 2 years.
I see, but you've been out there a long time altogether, haven't you?
Well, I've been in, actually, Iraq and Persia for the last 31 years.
Oh, well, now you're just the man I want, because I'd like to know what you think about this evacuation, the sudden evacuation.
Well, I think it's rather a pity. One of the reasons is that the Persians cannot run their refinery, all their oil distribution, without British technicians at all.
You're quite certain about that, are you?
Oh, I'm absolutely certain. On a 100% basis, it's just impossible.
Do you anticipate that we should be going back soon?
Well, I hope so.
Yes.
For the benefit of UK and the world in general.
What are you going to do now, sir?
Well, I'm on special leave at the moment. I think it's well earned. And I still have my heart in the oil company and their carryings and doings regarding the oil for the general world output.
Have you left any friends out there, sir?
I've left a lot, yes, quite a lot. The Persians and Arabs, they are big friends of mine.
And how do you like them, knowing them as closely as you do?
Well, I think they're quite a nice set of people in general. It's a pity that we had to leave them, but they feel that they can carry on themselves. Well, and I see no reason why they shouldn't have a go, but I'm certain they can't.
Well, thank you very much, sir, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you, sir.
I was in charge of 500 mechanical operators in Abadan, and our latest job was to make a complete dairy farm to supply milk and vegetable produce for the whole of the Abadan staff. All I hope is that this next coming season they'll be able to fulfill our requirements for the job.
Thank you very much. Mr. Smith, can you tell me what your job was in Abadan?
Power station charge engineer.
You were one of the key point men, were you?
Yes, I was one of the, well, I was the last to leave work. I was on night shift on a Wednesday night, and during that night shift they took over the...
Can you tell us something quite briefly about the evacuation? What happened to you?
Well, we were told to stop in our bungalows until the cars came for us and not to go with anybody at all. And we met the... went to the clubhouse and went to the Virgin Customs, which was just a formality. They never even looked at the cases. Get out as quick as you can.
Good. And what happened when you went on board the Mauritius?
Oh, well, we had a very good time by the boys on the Mauritius.
And what was it the band played?
Well, they played it. They played the Navy. They played Colonel Bogey.
Colonel Bogey,
yes,
that's right. Do you think you'll be going back, by the way?
Well, I don't want to leave the company, but if I can get somewhere else, I'll
Do you want to go back?
Well, it's quite a good place. I quite enjoyed myself there. I met plenty of Virgin friends.
Do you think the Persians will be able to carry on without you?
No.
Definitely think?
Definitely not.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Key point man, I believe.
Well, I wouldn't say one, just a normal...
How many persons are working underneath you? Under you,
I should say somewhere up. At least 50 men.
See, and how many people do you all run?
How do you mean? British
How many persons?
How many persons? Some about 500, I think.
Do you regret leaving them? Must have been out there some time.
Well, yes, the main of them, yes. Main of them are quite decent chaps.
Yes. Well, this chap, Mossadegh, what do you think about him?
Bluntly.
Do you think he'll ever go back?
I wouldn't know. That's in the lap of the gods.
What do you plan to do now?
Just wait.
Just
For a while.
Indefinitely.
Well, as far as we...
Mr. Hashami, in your opinion, would it have carried on and not been evacuated?
No, hardly, because NIOC gave us about 3 days before we left. We had never worked with us still.
What are you going to do now?
We should leave.
Do you think you'll be going back?
I don't know.
Want to go back?
I don't know. Why not?
What about Mossadegh? What do you think about him?
Never met him.
That's one way of looking at it. But do you think the Persians could have carried on at all on him?
What,
Do you think he'll be able to?
Carry on with that?
Yes.
Very much doubt it.
Yes, you probably think we'll have back, don't you?
Someone will have to.
Let's hope it's us. Good luck
I
to you.
hope so, anyway.
Oh, could you just drop it a bit so I can get in? Mr. Hazard, I guess you have the one answer to this problem of the oil refinery. Will you tell us what it is?
Well, I don't know whether I have the one answer to it, but I have my own answer to it.
Let's have it.
That we should have taken the refinery by force and run our refinery on Iraq oil and Kuwait oil.
Well, that sounds a full-blooded idea. How would you have set about it?
Well, we'd have had to put the troops in, obviously.
Yes. And what have you done about the refinery?
We'd have run it.
We've got
a pipeline across the river. There's a pipeline down to a place called Flower, which is less than a mile away from the actual refinery.
Your experience tells you that would have worked, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely would have worked. And then it's not a very big job for us to get another pipeline down to Kuwait while we're working on that lot.
And what do you think about this evacuation generally?
I think it's a debauchery. Absolutely. A debauchery.
Abortion.
Debauchery.
What do you think about this Persian situation with Mossadegh? What's the true story?
Well, I think the true story of that is that his strength is our weakness, and that's just it. I think a decision from our government, a full-blooded one, would have stopped all this. And as I say, if we'd have bounced 2 6-inch shells in the bazaar when our lads were killed last April, it would have stopped it then, in my opinion.
And you honestly feel that if we take a very firm hand from the start...
Yes. In fact, I'd go so far as to say if Churchill was there, it would never have been tried.
Thank you, Mr. Hazard.
Oh, look, there's no fault.
Engineers are there. I'm naturally very pleased to be back again.
Wait. Is this all right?
I'm naturally very pleased to be back again in UK and to rejoin my wife and family. I should have come home in April last, so I think I've earned my spot of leave. I would like to say that the staff, who put up with a very hot summer in Persia under very difficult conditions, deserve the utmost praise for sticking it out. And that goes for the Indian and Pakistani employees as well. We have all done our best for the company and for Britain.
Mr. Ross, I wonder if you'd give us your personal feelings about leaving Abadan.
Well, we left with a feeling of sadness that we were leaving that enormous plant that we've spent so much time in building up, and also leaving our Persian staff and labour, whom we've got to know and respect. And it was a very, very sad occasion for me in particular, as I was in charge of the whole lot of the plant there. We also left with a feeling of relief, because we've had quite a lot of tension for 7 months now. We've started in March with strikes, and then in May there was the nationalization movement. Since then we've had this temporary board of directors who have interfered in our operations and made life extremely difficult. My staff have reacted marvelously, and they've sort of seen to it that we've had no incidents whatsoever. I can assure you it's most difficult to always be quite certain that anything you do is not going to annoy or offend some of the local officials in a place like Abadan.
May I ask, can we change the lens? You obviously want to, won't you? Do you want to...
Was that for radio news?
That is for all the newsreel companies, Movietone, Paramount, Cathay, Gaumont, Universal, the whole works. What I'd like to get is some... Okay. So I wonder if you'd like to remark about Mr. Morrison's statements about being withdrawn from Abadan.
I haven't had a chance to see all of Mr. Morrison's statement yet and digest it, but I can assure you the reason we left Abadan was because the Persians kicked us out, and nobody did anything about helping us after that. We were given until the 4th of October, and we came out on the 4th.
Do you think it was really essential that we should come out, or could we have avoided a different approach?
Well, I feel that people have waited to see what was going to happen a long time. I feel that the British government has waited to see what would happen. And while they were waiting, the Persians took the initiative, and it ended up in our getting these dismissal notices or expulsion notices.
Did the Persians take our threat of force seriously?
I don't know whether... did we threaten force?
Well, we did put a parachute brigade into nearby so that they could go into the refinery if necessary to protect the oil workers there.
No, I'd rather not answer that.
Well, no, okay, well that's all right then, sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, right. So, do you think the Persians can continue running the oil refinery?
No, I think the Persians themselves admit that they can't run the oil refinery without foreign help. And I personally feel very strongly that we are the only people who can give them that help. I don't think there are really any other people who would either be acceptable or able to do what we've done in Persia.
Well, do you foresee that the British oil men will be going back to Persia shortly?
I hope that the British oil men will be going back to Persia shortly.
Right, well, thank you very much indeed.
Right, thank you.